Hey everybody, and welcome to my video. It is Kevin here, and I am coloring an image from the new Ohana Forever set. I am super excited to color this up. In another video, I used the brand new rocket ship builder die, so that was super fun, and I've made a couple of cards already. So here you can see I used this rocket ship builder and a distressed background. And I did Peekaboo, I Adore You, and I made a little sorry out of order sign for it. So I also made this one here, Ohana Forever, where I did a background and I did him on a little surfboard that I just printed out. So that was like super cute as well. So now I thought, you know what, since I just did another video for the rocket ship builder die to show how it goes together, I thought, you know what, I'm going to use the little Stitch wearing the little costume. I thought that would be super cute to color up for you today. So I'm going to start off coloring him with B16. So that is my cayenne or cyanine blue. I can't pronounce it, but B16. So we're going to start in his chin area, and we're not going into the mouth. We're just going to go over it and around. And we're going to go just a tiny bit into his ear on either side. And here I'm staying to the right. And if you see these lines, that's just to show me where not to go off camera. So I'm going to put a little bit into each one of his paws as well. This is a nice, cute, small image, so that is awesome for doing a quick card or a quick coloring. I'm going to go a little under his eye there. We'll put a little bit of that darker color into his hair as well. And I'm going to go a little bit over his nose there with that B16. Next up, I'm going in with my B34, which is my manganese blue. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's B34. So again, I'm going to just kind of color over a little bit where I already did into his paws. Now in his paws, I'm probably going to only use the 3 blues that I picked out, just because I don't want to go overboard. And guess what? I forgot my glasses. And I need reading glasses now when I color. At least it helps. So do you know what? We're just going to throw those on, and much better. All right. So we're going to go over here and under his nostrils. So we're going to keep it darker right across here and under those eyes. And I'm just going to put just a tiny bit more into his ears and a little bit into that tuft of that hair. And we're going to come across that bridge of the nose a little bit more there. So that was the B34. So next up, weird jump, but it's going back to B95. So this is our light grayish cobalt. Yep. Make sure he's back on the screen for you. So now here I'm going to come in from his paws. And I'm just going to fill those in from the little tips of his paws in. And here you want to be ever so careful to just use the very, very tip of your marker, because it is a tiny area and you don't want it to bleed out. So here with the B95, I'm going to turn him around, and I'm going to come down from that eye space underneath just to blend that in a little bit. And go up the nose a bit higher, into this ear a little bit higher. Then I'm going to go in with my B93. So this is our light crockery blue, so that's B93. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring that down right here from the ear. So no more white space. And in from the top of the eye. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to really blend that. And make sure that this kind of like top layer of that B93 just kind of really blends everything really nicely together. So you can see I'm just kind of going over everything that I colored with this B93. And it's okay if you go into the nostril or into the eye with the blue, because we are going to be adding blue there as well. So that's for the B93. So now he's got these little claws. I'm just going to be using B39 Prussian blue, just to accentuate them just a little bit. I'm just going to put just little dabs of color right into his little claws. And I'm also going to put it right into that center of his paw as well. Just, oh, toes, super finicky little toes. There we go. I think I got them. So now I'm going to kind of let that blue dry up a little bit, and now I'm going to go into do his ears. And with his ears, I'm going to be using RV95, which is Baby Blossom. So that's 395 Baby Blossoms. So I'm going to keep that darker and into this inside part of his ear. And up to the right. And in here. And again, up to the right a little bit. Next up, we have RV91. Let's keep the cap on the right end. So RV91, which is our grayish cherry. Sorry, I have to make sure that I'm actually coloring in the right space. I apologize. So here I can turn it around, and I'm going to bring this color in. So in from the light into that dark space. And here I'm going to really want to work and take my time to blend these colors together. And I forgot to mention, I did stamp him in blue ink. So I didn't use typical black. I did stamp all my little stitch images in blue ink, and then I just filled in the pupils with black over top. So of course you could just use your normal black ink, but I thought, you know what, let's just keep that blue theme going. And then his features pop out a little bit. So that was the RV91. Then I'm just going to use a little bit of my N3, that natural gray number 3. I'm just going to kind of hit around the edges a little bit. Not too much. And then one more blend with that 9-1, just to soften that gray out a little bit. Now, if you know me, I hate when I color outside the lines, so I do have a colorless blender with me because I noticed I went outside the lines on his ear here. So I'm going to take the time to clean that up real quickly. I think we're doing pretty good here. All right. So next up, I'm going to color his nose. And for his nose color, I'm going to be using a little bit of B37. So my B37 is my Antwerp blue. So that's Antwerp blue. So that's going to be right for his nostrils. We're going to make them nice and dark with that Antwerp blue. We're using a lot of blues today. Then I'm going to go in with my B18, which is Lapis Lazuli. And we're going to bring that up his nose and around. And I'm kind of making it like a little bit of a Y shape there. Then my B14, which is my light blue. I'm going to start down in that dark part. And then we're going to blend this all through in his nose. So again, when you're laying in the blue, you just want to really take the time to allow the color to saturate the paper and to meld into each other. So you can see those colors kind of looked really different, and as they kind of bleed into each other a little bit, they go lighter. So next up, I'm going to start with my B04. So my B04 is going to be for under his mouth. So this is B04 Tahitian blue, and this is his kind of bottom lip color, and it's what we're going to put around the bottom of his eye on both sides. And from B04, we're going to go to B02, which is our Robin's Egg blue. And it's going to lightly sweep that across his bottom lip there. A little bit more into the eye on either side. From there, I'm going to my B41, which is my powder blue. So my powder blue right here, I'm going to go across that bottom lip. And again, I'm going to just go back and forth just to make sure that I'm getting a nice blend. So you can see I've still left some white space, but I'm kind of bringing this powder blue around this B41. I'm starting to bring it down into those colors I colored before, and I'm just sweeping it into the eye to get that color to blend really nicely all together there. And then I'm going to take my B00, so this is our frost blue, and I'm going to use this at the top. I'm going to bring that right in from the top, right down. And I'm going to sweep it right into that wider part of his eye out here. And I think he's looking super adorable and cute already. And I'm going to go across his mouth again just a little bit. Now with this B00, I'm going to put a little dab on the left-hand side of his nose. Just kind of wiggle it back and forth a little bit, because I want him to have like a little bit of highlight right into his nose right up here. So we're just going to lighten that up just there a little bit. All right, so now we have his spacesuit to do. So you can already see that this has been like pretty easy to color. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my YR24. So this is pale sepia. And I'm going to color really simply, single color, the outside of this little emblem here on his little spacesuit. So you can see we're keeping that super easy today. And then his little belt, same thing. We're going to go across his belt. And I'm just going to put a touch right into the bottom there. Then next up, we're going to use our Y18, which is our lightning yellow. And this is going to fill in the middle. And then we're just going to swirl it around right here. Just to make that a little bit darker. And then here with this lightning yellow, you can kind of hit that corner a bit too. I'm just kind of rounding that corner just to lighten it up a bit. And that was super easy. So now we're going to move on to the rest of his suit. So I'm going to take my R39, which is my garnet. Now I did make a little bit of a boo-boo on his hands. I don't know if you could say kind of colored outside line, but right here, this should be his, like the collars or the sleeves. So we're going to color those in with the R39. And I just put a little bit in here where I shouldn't have colored it blue on that side. So we're just going to dab that in there just like that. So again, I'm going to go on the bottom here. I'm going to not quite fill in. So you can see here, I've left white space on the outside. I'm going to do the same over here. His belt, into his arm, under his arm here. And just a little bit of that red there. And we'll go in here onto the top. So it's a little bit shadowed. So we're kind of creating a little bit of a shadowed area right now. Now we're going to go in with our R29, which is our lipstick red. And we're going to just color around and add. So we're just adding a little bit more color over top of what we colored, but we're not going under it. So we're going over it and slightly extending. I'm going to go under his chin a little bit more, and we're going to hit there into his sleeve on that side. I'm going to go down a little bit more over here too, a little bit there. So that was our R29. So next up is our R27. So this is our cadmium red. And you can see here, I'm going to just add a little bit more. So I'm sort of starting to fill in the space of his pants now and his suit, but not quite going to the outside of the lines except for under here, where you can see him now extending it a little bit more. And we're starting to find our little bits where it's starting to connect now with that R27. After R27, we're going to R24, which is our prawn. So yes, I know we're using a lot of reds here today. Trust me, there is a method to my madness. And now we're going to be adding that all the way around the outside of his suit where we had left white into the bottom. And again, you want to be very careful with your color placement using just the tip because you don't want to accidentally color where you don't want any color. So you can see I colored everything in there under his pants or that bottom part, and then I'm coming up here a little bit more. And this is where I'm kind of filling it in. But just on this right-hand side right now, I'm going to come around and just a little bit into here. And now my last red, because there is one more, is going to be my R05, which is my salmon red. So this is my very lightest one. And I'm going to be into that white, and then I'm going to drag it in and into anywhere where I had white left. So I'm just kind of making sure that his suit does have some dimension to it. And I'm just adding a little bit in here to get everything nicely to blend. I'm going to go back up to my R39 one more time, and I'm just going to add a little bit more where I think I want that darker part to be again, and where I just think it needs to be brought out a little bit more in his suit. Then I'm going to jump down to my R27, and I'm going to just kind of flick it out a little bit from where I colored. Bring it across. And then from there, my R24. And isn't he adorable? So cute. I love Stitch. Definitely one of my favorite characters, 100%. Not gonna lie, I may have some stuffed little Stitches here at home. I might have a bunch of them. I might have at least 4 or 5. And of course, I've got to use my white Posca pen because I want his pupils to just stand out just a tiny bit more. And there is our cute and adorable little Stitch. I think he is just so cute and turned out awesome. So I hope you enjoyed coloring along with me with this video, and we will see you next time. Until then, I'm going to say stamp it, color it, and love it. Bye-bye.